starting with a team that Liverpool beat comfortably just yesterday. Manchester City, this is what Pep Guardiola had to say. It was a good game. First half, it was more open, and in the second half, they defended very deep. They'll always have the threat, but it's not easy to control it. I'm very pleased with the way we play. I saw a bright future. Other than Kevin and Nathan, they are the future of this club for the next years. Well, if that's the future, Nate, I won't be getting too excited if I'm a City fan.
Oh, stop it, Dan. Stop complaining. He's trying to find positives in what's been a rubbish sort of like last 3-4 months.
But why?
I think in some ways
it's such an empty gesture, isn't it? I thought we played very well. At what stage did you think City were going to get anything from this tie?
Oh, Dan, you're so negative. Come on, get a grip of yourself now.
Sorry, Man City TV. Let's put a positive spin on everything. Oh, look at Doku. Doku is the future of Manchester City, everyone. Don't worry.
Well, to be fair, what do you expect them to say?
But why does he have to say that the future's bright? How has he seen a bright future, Steve?
Because he has to.
He doesn't have to say that.
Yes, he does.
Why? His team have been outplayed by Real Madrid and by Liverpool. Both of you and Craig's admission yesterday.
Agreed.
They didn't really even have to try.
Agreed.
So what's the...
Well, what do you expect them to do? You want to do an Amarim?
So why do we...
And say this is the worst City side for the last 8 years since I've been here. Is that what you want them to say?
Of course he doesn't have to say that.
Well, you can't expect him to be saying anything other than any sort of positive thing he can.
So what we're saying is that he's saying it, but he can't mean it, surely?
I would hope not.
No.
But it's not, because it's not true.
Well, that's it. So why come out and lie?
Well, because that's what you do. You can't come out and tell the truth all the time.
When Arteta comes out and has his post-match conferences and says nonsense, you call him out for it. So why does he get a pass and Pep Guardiola doesn't?
We call people out when they continually come out with the same claptrap, this other rubbish. This is completely different. He's coming out and he's talking about the young players and he's saying there's a bright future. He thinks he sees something in the young guys that can basically get them back to where they want to be.
So is he right?
I don't believe the signs are there that he's correct right now. I don't believe that the young players he's talking about have shown that they are capable in 12 months, 18 months of winning the Premier League. I don't believe that. But it's kind of an open-ended. It's a bright future because there's a lot of young players.
Stevie.
You can't expect them to come out and say
that. You're a side that's won 4 titles in a row, that was favourite for the Champions League that started. If you've got Carlo Ancelotti coming out and saying that about Real Madrid, the future's bright. I've seen a lot of hope after getting knocked out of the Champions League.
But Dan, he's got half a team missing and he's playing a lot of young guys that don't have experience.
He's got Rodri missing, that's it.
He's got a lot of young guys playing and new signings.
Go on, Mario.
Dan, listen. What he's saying, you understand? Look, okay, the things that Pep is saying is also what we are seeing, right? He knows that he has to tweak his team. We cannot lie about that. He knows that. That is obvious, you understand? I mean, you understand? We saw the Bruyne, you understand? We know that there are players in that team that we all idolized. You understand? We really loved the way they were playing and everything. Now things are changing. You need to adapt and he need to reshuffle his cards again in his team. It's not going to be that quick that he's going to do it because then it falls down like a pack of cards. And the situation the club is in, right? So first, you understand, we all know about the legal terms that they're going through. Then we know about, you understand, some players, you know, in, out, then adjusting new players in the team. And then, you know, you have a great manager. He took a little bit of a period and then he extended his contract. So all those things weigh really heavy on the team. And regardless what you just said, like they've been winning the league so many times. Yes, of course, they're champions, but it hurts champions, where they are not. So now he's being shaked up. And Liverpool also, this is the season for them. Why? Because all the other teams are kind of helping them too. City, not playing well. Arsenal, not playing well. Chelsea, not even a shout that they can come close to. What do you want to call? Okay, Nottingham Forest, we were talking about, but that is not, you know, the team at that size. So in a way, I understand what Nedum says. He can't attack his team that he likes. Like what do you want him to say? All the points that we already highlighted, don't take the man down like that. It doesn't work like that. No, Nedum, I got you, my brother. It does not work like that.
Oh, my goodness. So it doesn't matter what he says. We just give him a pass. But this is a team. Yeah. Have you seen, to Stevie's point, have you seen potential amongst these youngsters, Nedum? You think, oh, yeah, they can go toe-to-toe with the boys once again, once they've got some experience?
Well, to be honest, from my perspective, he's talking about some players who are 20, 21, 22 years of age, and I don't think they'll have the impact that, say, City players have had in recent years, where they've gone and won 4 Premier League titles in a row. But it's not to say that, say, further down the road that they can't. I think the experience that they're going through this year, the experience of possibly Guardiola's last season next year, I think it will help them, like the likes of Savinho and others. They're settling in. You know, Guardiola, he's doing what he's doing. And I think you've got Haaland's coming there as well. He's 24 years of age. So, yes, the future might not be as clear and obvious as said the last few years with the likes of Bernardo Silva's, Kevin De Bruyne's, and all these others who've been so significant. But with those guys being older, well, what's next? You don't want everything to come to a complete halt. And yes, the transition might be tricky, but why should it be easy? It's the Premier League. It's one of the toughest leagues in world football. And for City, they have aspirations to be back there. And they're thinking brick by brick, they'll be building that foundation again.
Kevin De Bruyne will leave in the summer, Nedum. That seems pretty obvious, doesn't it? Why has he fallen off the cliff so much, like the rest of the team have this season?
It's a great question, you know. It's a really, really good question. I was fortunate enough to speak to him. I think it was before the Champions League final a couple of years ago. And he was talking about how he was playing with an injury. And he was pushing. And then he broke down the next season, didn't play for the first 3-4 months. And he said this was the first time he's missed football in probably 10, 12 years. And he's played 60, 70, 80 games a season. So I think some of those sort of injuries have caught to him, and he's never been able to find full fitness. And then that dip in form, alongside a dip in form for the rest of the team, has made it quite difficult for him. And it's a shame to see him at this sort of standard. But I still think he has the ability to have an impact. You know, this is somebody who's still one of the captains for the club as well. But unfortunately, this is the reality of football. I would never write him off. I think he can still do something between now and the end of the season. But the very best of Kevin De Bruyne that we've seen, I think that tended to come when he was in a flow, where he wasn't in pain, where maybe he's playing games and so on. But you can see that it's not quite the same. It's sad to see. But again, what a fantastic player.
It was interesting yesterday, Mario. The boys were talking about something that we've talked about Chelsea a lot. And what Liverpool have in someone like Van Dijk is you have a leader. Yeah, you have someone on the pitch that can galvanise the team, get them together when things aren't going well. You take a look at Manchester City in the past, obviously they had Vincent Kompany was a key part of that. You take a look at other big players who would stand up when necessarily. You take a look at this City team now and you think, where is that? And where is it going to come from? Because you talk about the excitement of bright stars in the future, but looking at those teams, looking at the players with experience, you know, someone like Phil Foden, does he have that within him to become a leader of this side that we've seen is so important for these successful teams? Mario?
Very important for him to take that next step, right? And it's going to be important for him. What is he going to do next? You understand? You have to deliver more. They're going to ask more. This team, clearly, you understand what Nedum already said. You know, De Bruyne, a great talent, but you know, when you get older and you get injured, it's a terrible time. Injury doesn't get us quickly to the momentum that we want to be. That is what is his biggest problem. You understand? In, out, it doesn't help anybody. Silva, Gundogan, the team is still leaning on their shoulders too much. If you have one of them, let's say you use one of them or two of them, you have to have a third freshman in that team. And I think you cannot change quickly, because quickly you can see what happens, right? You understand, like the game was when Silva, you understand, started to Kusanov, when he was helping him. And Silva came to help him because he has more experience. Things like that is fine. But the team needs to now start building. You're talking about the young talents. Okay, Nedum knows them better than I would know. But one of the key things for the young talents is going to be, can they fit straight in and make a difference? Foden did that because he calmly was brought by Pep. And he was like, I compliment Foden on the patience, what he had to wait that long, and eventually it paid off for him. But now he needs to take that, you know, like, what is it? Because not every captain has an armband, but every team needs at least 5 or 6 captains on the team to win something. Now he needs to carry them like that. Be the captain, be the focal point, tell them what to do, because he has won so much, and I think he's at that point now that he has to demand the respect and also show the responsibility to take himself and then his team to the next level in the sense of responsibility.
Are you talking about Foden here? No. Listen, you look at all the great captains over decades, hundreds of years. All the greatest captains play in the middle of the park, either at centre-back or centre midfield. They don't play up front, or they're not forward players. That's where your real strength comes. And that's why they're missing Rodri as badly as they are. Not just for his talent on the field, but his leadership. But all the best captains play right in the middle of midfield or right in the middle of the defence. And Phil Foden is never going to be that guy ever. I'm sorry.
So we're waiting on Rodri to come back. This is.
If you are, I'll tell you, if you are Manchester City right now, you know you've just signed Gonzalez, and he doesn't look to be that guy either.
No.
You struggle in the middle of your defence, so they don't have anybody there. So the answer to your question is yes. Rodri better hurry up.
Well, I think that's been pretty much the theme throughout.